Hi everyone! Today we're going to look at 12 useful words and phrases that can help you show a wider range of grammar in your responses in the speaking section. Using these constructions effectively can really boost your speaking score. Let's get started. Word number 1 may seem simple, but it can significantly improve your grammar score. It's the word which. This word is a game changer when it comes to turning simple sentences into complex ones. Thanks to this word, we can change a simple sentence like, "These days, people spend too much time glued to their smartphones," into a complex one. All we need to do is add which to the end of the sentence. These days, people spend too much time glued to their smartphones, which is sad. As you can see, in this sentence, I use which to show my attitude towards the fact that people spend too much time on their phones these days. You can do the same thing on test day. Make a statement, and then use the word which to show how you feel about it. We use which not only to show your reaction to something. You can also use it to add extra details. Instead of saying the simple sentence, "I recently visited Vienna," you can say, "I recently visited Vienna, which I found charming and full of character." Or, instead of saying, "The other day I watched Steve Jobs' speech at Stanford," you could say, "The other day I watched Steve Jobs' speech at Stanford, which was incredibly inspiring." The second word is also a basic word on its own, but if used correctly on the day of the test, it can contribute to your speaking score. It's the word because. Just look. A simple sentence like, "I really enjoy cooking," automatically becomes complex when you add because. I really enjoy cooking because it allows me to be creative. You can also use because in a contrasting statement. And it's not because I don't like ... it's because ... For example, and it's not because I don't like my hometown. I love it. It's because living in a big city offers a lot more career opportunities. The third word is when. We can use it in the middle or at the beginning of a sentence. If you are asked a question, "Do you think children should do household chores?" you can say, "Absolutely. Helping with household chores teaches them valuable life skills like responsibility and teamwork." This seems like a good start to an answer, but the problem is that both sentences are simple. But if I add when to the second sentence, it becomes complex. Look, do you think children should do household chores? Absolutely. When children participate in chores, they learn valuable life skills such as responsibility and teamwork. Next is whenever. We often use it to show repeated actions. Whenever I have a spare minute, I always read a book. When you make a sentence with the word whenever, make sure the sentence has two parts. Whenever I have a spare minute is the first part, and I always read a book is the second part. When asked if I'd rather live in a big city or a small town, I can say, "In a small town, it takes me less than 10 minutes to get anywhere." It's a good but simple sentence in terms of grammar. So I add the word whenever and get a grammatically complex sentence structure. Whenever I need to go somewhere in a small town, it takes me less than 10 minutes to get there. Next on our list is as soon as. Don't say two simple sentences like, "We reached the top of the mountain, then it started to rain." Instead, use as soon as to connect them. As soon as we reached the top of the mountain, it started to rain. This phrase is great for describing an event that happened immediately after another. On IELTS speaking, the examiner might ask you a question. "What was the last place you visited on holiday?" You could say, "The last place I went on vacation was Barcelona. As soon as I got there, I fell in love with the city." The next word is although. As you all know, this word introduces contrast. Practice using although in different sentences, as it's a great word for the IELTS speaking section. Although I sometimes feel tired, I always find the energy to go on because I'm passionate about what I do. Please note that when you make a sentence with the word although, it should have two parts. Although I felt like giving up at times, I kept going and successfully passed the test. Next comes a slightly longer phrase that I always encourage my students to use when explaining their motivations. It's the main reason ... This construction is very easy to incorporate into your speech, and it helps you in two ways. First, it adds another complex sentence to your speech. And second, it gives you some time to think about what your reason will be. If an examiner asks you, "Why is your family important to you?" instead of saying, "They provide unconditional support and love," you can say, The main reason my family is important to me is because they provide unconditional support and love. The only drawback to using this phrase is that students often forget the second part of this construction, is because. Remember that if you start a sentence with the main reason, you should then use is because. Look at these examples. The main reason I like to read books is because reading helps me relax after a long day. The main reason I volunteer is because I want to help those in need. Another simple but useful phrase to include in your speech is the last time I. Just compare these two sentences. I was in my hometown about a year ago. The last time I was in my hometown was about a year ago. The difference in sentence size is tiny, but while the first sentence is a simple sentence, the second sentence is already a complex one. This will undoubtedly contribute to your speaking score. However, be sure to use the past simple in such a sentence. Also, don't forget to say was before mentioning the time. Let's look at a few more examples. When was the last time you received a gift? The last time I got a present was on my birthday. Talk about the last time your whole family got together. The last time my whole family got together was during a holiday celebration last winter. Remember, you don't have to use all of these phrases and structures at once. Just pick the ones that fit naturally with what you're trying to say. When practicing at home, I recommend creating as many sentences about yourself as possible using these structures. That way, they'll become second nature and you'll use them automatically on test day. The thing is, to score well in IELTS speaking, you shouldn't focus on grammar and vocabulary when you're speaking. Instead, you want to develop your skills to a level where you can speak freely on any topic. The best way to do this is to expose yourself to quality English content. However, if you listen to high-scoring sample responses, you'll notice that certain words tend to come up repeatedly. You'll also see some universal grammar structures that can easily fit into your answers. That's exactly what we teach in our IELTS course. In the speaking section, we not only dive deep into strategies and tips and tricks, but we also go through a full mock speaking test together, allowing you to practice and get an understanding of how your responses should sound. In addition, we'll analyze common high-level words related to specific topics, walk you through reading question types in an easy-to-follow way, and help you create high-scoring writing answers. Plus, you'll learn the vocabulary you need to succeed on the IELTS test. In the end, you'll feel fully prepared and confident on test day, ready to get the score you want. Just click on the link below to join our IELTS community and get started. The next phrase in our list is I can't say that. Use it to express your opinion. Just like the main reason, I can't say that gives you more time to think before expressing your thoughts on the matter. Instead of saying, I really enjoy cooking, especially trying new recipes. Try saying, I can say that I really enjoy cooking, especially trying new recipes. Let's look at more examples. I can say that social media has its pros and cons. I can say that exercise is incredibly important because it helps us maintain both physical and mental health. Phrase number 10 is I can't say that. It's usually used when you're not sure about something. People often say it when they want to be neutral about something. For example, I can't say that I love spicy food, but I do eat it once in a while. I can't say that I find history particularly fascinating, but I do recognize its importance. In these examples, I'm gently expressing my lack of enthusiasm without sounding harsh or dismissive. You can also use this phrase when talking about the past. I can't say that I made the right decision back then, but I've learned from it. The next phrase is I don't know if I. If you're asked whether you're a good cook, you might say, I don't know if I'm particularly good at cooking, but I really enjoy it. When answering other IELTS questions, you can say, I like to sing. I don't know if I'm very good at it, but I often sing when I'm alone. I can sing anything from country songs to opera. I especially like this phrase when used with the present perfect. If you feel you haven't explained your point well enough, you can say, I don't know if I've explained this clearly enough, but I hope it makes sense. Or, I don't know if I've been clear enough, but I hope this makes sense. The last phrase in our list is I wish I had plus past participle plus when I was younger. How can you use it? I wish I had learned to play a musical instrument when I was younger. I wish I had traveled more when I was younger. I wish I had really studied a second language when I was younger. I love to use this phrase in my answers, and I always encourage my students to do the same. It's great for two reasons. First, it allows you to reflect on missed opportunities. And second, it's a perfect way to use the past perfect tense. Take another look at these examples. I wish I had learned. I wish I had traveled. I wish I had really studied. All of them are in the past perfect. So the next time you're giving a part 2 monologue or answering a part 1 question and you want to talk about things you regret, feel free to say, I wish I had plus past participle plus when I was younger. You now have 12 words and phrases that can strengthen your answers on the IELTS speaking test. Remember to practice using them in your own answers, paying attention to the appropriate tenses. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more IELTS tips. And remember, scoring high on the IELTS test is not an impossible feat. You can do it. Good luck with your preparation, and see you next time. Bye-bye.